Hello and welcome back to the second tutorial in how we can set up split screen in Unreal 5. Now this tutorial is actually just going to cover how we can make the players just use one input device for both characters. So this is something that I did in Time Splitters Rewind with the turrets, but this is slightly different but the same sort of concept. So without further ado, let's get started. The first thing we need to do is open up the game mode that we made previously. So what we're just going to do, because we added 2 players that spawn in, so actually 3 in total. So we just want to disconnect this other one or just delete it, create local player. And then we can exit out of there. And I'm just going to go back into the project settings and turn off that skip assigning to gamepad. Now what you need to do is go into blueprints here, or open the tab across the top, but actually what I need to do is open the third person character, which wasn't one of my tabs but now is, and the third person controller, which is one of my tabs, but I'll just show you how to just do that just in case. So if I open this, I've got my event on possess that I made in the controller, and the setup for the enhanced input system, and that is pretty much it. If I go to third person controller though, per character even, I have all the inputs. Now, Epic do this, a lot of people do this, but really in my mind, if you've got inputs, they should be in the controller and not the character itself. And it also makes it easier for what we're about to do. So just another thing, I'm going to ignore this touch interface. So if you've got a mobile game that you need touch for, you may just need to find out how to re-implement it yourself. I'm not going to cover that in this, but I am going to cover like normal inputs on PC or console. So if I just select all these and go Control X, that cuts it, and go into the controller now and paste that in. Now, I'll come up with some function references here. Just select create matching function on both these for move and aim. Hit confirm, and you'll see all this comes through. Now, if I compile that, there'll be an error. If I compile that and save that, the character, there's nothing in there, so it should be fine. Now, just to fix these errors, if I come back to the controller, and what I need to change, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get rid of these custom events because they're to do with the touch input for mobile. You'll still see there's an error there. And that custom event can go away as well, that bottom one. And this one here can get deleted. So we've just got controls for PC and consoles now. So if I compile that again, the errors still haven't gone away, but we've just got basically all we wanted for that setup. Now to fix this, as it says here, target is character for jump. Now it says target is third person player controller for move and aim because we copied it. That isn't strictly true. It should be the character. Now what we need to do is we could just get the character as a one-off if we only had one player character, but because we've got 2 and we want to actually control both of the characters with one controller, we're going to have to be a bit sneaky on what we do. So what we really need to do is when the game starts and the controller's loaded in, we need to get the characters on this controller. So to do that, what I would personally do is, oh, this is for touch again. So actually, just to make this less confusing, I'm going to just delete that and get rid of that. I'll leave the sequence actually. So we're just dealing with the controls for PC, as I said. So if I pull that off a bit, because that comment box in the way now, and not very useful. If I go from this add mapping context and pull out, and if I look for a timer, I can do set timer by event. Now this is just the way I like to do this to make it a bit neater. I like to pull out from there and use create event, which will just let you select an event rather than having it like linked and then a messy blueprint structure. So I've actually not got the function at the moment, so I'll need to create that. But if I just hit looping there and change the time to, I don't know, 0.1 of a second, and then if I right click and search for custom, I can add this custom event. And the custom event will be find characters, for example. And I'll just put that over there. And if I just hit that drop down now in create event, I should be able to find characters, find the right event. So this event will fire and looping and keep running this find characters. Well, actually, we want it to stop when it's found them. So another thing we can do is if I go to this return value and pull that out and just promote that to a variable, has something called new var, and I think I'm just going to rename that to handle because it's a timer handle, and compile it. Still getting those errors, but I'm sure they're going to go away any second now. So we'll move over to this custom event. And what we want to do, like I said, is find all the characters. So if I pull this out and look for find all, so it might be get all acts as a class, sorry, not find. So you got this get all acts as a class. If I just use that, if I change the act class here to my third person character, then what I can do is I can search for length. Then what I can do is I can go to the return value here, the integer, and if I drag that out and search for greater than, and I want to have this happen when both players are loaded. So if I go greater than 1 and then go to this return value for the ball and type branch, I have this set up. So if I connect these two, when this is greater than 1, so we got both the players loaded, what I want to do is I want to put these into two variables. So if I'm going to make these two variables now, I click the plus there, and in the variable type, search for my third person character, and just do object reference for now. I make that P1 for player 1, and make another variable, and it should stay with the right variable type. So if I just type P2, hit enter, player 2, if I drag these out and make this a set, same with P2, make this a set, and just on the true, join these up. And then if we come back to these out actors, what I can do is drag out from this and go get a copy. And for P1, it's right, it's 0 in the list, so I will connect that up. And just so I'm going to copy paste that get, and do the same. Do the get, but change this in here to 1. So I'm getting the next one in the list, which will be player 2 or character 2 even. So if I now up, I've got character 1, character 2 stored on this controller. Now, what I can do is, because I've done that, I can actually stop the handle from running and stop that timer running. So if I go and drag that handle that I made, the variable called handle, and do get, and then go drag off it and do clear and invalidate time by handle, this will stop it from running. So it won't just keep running in the background, constantly adding these two variables into your controller. So that's done. If I scroll out a bit, now what we want to do is fix all these errors and also make it so the input works. But now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fix these. So if I go here and say that we just want, I don't know, player 1 to jump for now, I'll just connect player 1 there and player 1 there. So these are the variables I made. So that's character 1. Or now be able to jump. If I compile that, they should go away. And if I play this and go in here, I can press spacebar and player 1 will jump. Now, of course, player 2 is a bit stuffed. They can't even move at all. And also, player 1 can't move around. They can only jump on the spot, which is not really what we want. So if I go back into third-person controller, what I can do is start setting some of these up so they work. Let's just keep focusing on player 1 at the moment, getting them working. So what we want to do is come up here and fix up the camera and the movement. Now, as I said before, this says target is BP third person player controller. Well, that's just not going to work. And if we get our variable and just try to plug that in, it'll go. Now, searching for nodes and it won't work. It won't let you connect it. So actually, what we're going to have to do is temporarily delete this and look and pull out actually from player 1 variable or the character 1, whichever way you want to think about it, and search for aim again. And you'll find aim. It'll be this function here. Now it'll say target is BP third person character instead of controller, which is what we wanted. So if I reconnect the triggered and reconnect the X and the Y, that should now work. And I'll just do it for the one below as well, just so we can use the mouse look as well as the input from the controller, I believe. So if I just connect those up, that one's done. Now, we need to move. And again, we need to delete this old one because it's referencing the wrong thing. And get another get from our character variable that we created. And if I pull that out and do the same, I want move. And there's the function move. And I'll just connect that up. And we are all good to go for player 1. Compile. All the errors have gone away as well. Hit play. And player 1 can move around and turn the controls around on the camera and jump. So player 2 is still a bit stuffed at the moment. Now, that's relatively easy to fix. So player 1 is on the WASD keys. Say we want, just for an example, just a quick example, we just want the player 2 to be able to move on the arrow keys instead. So that shouldn't be too bad to add. And you can then carry on adding these inputs for the rest of player 2. But I'm just going to get moving for now, just so you get the idea. So if we go back into the main window to actually get access to the content browser, what we need to then do is change some inputs. Now the new input system you might or might not know, but if you go into input here, you have these things called actions, and this input mapping context that you probably saw in the controller earlier, which actually lets you assign the keys. So because we've got basically a second character, a second player, and we want different inputs, we're going to make a new action. If we open the actions folder, and actually what I'm going to do is right click on the move that we already have and go duplicate, and we'll call this IA move E2, for example, for player 2. So that's nice and easy. If we go back into this input folder and then go into the IMC default pack, and then open up the default key mappings, and again open mappings, you'll see the ones that are already assigned and we're using. If I click the plus to add another one, find R1, move P2, and then just open this up. Now we said that we wanted to set it up to use the arrow keys. So if you look at this, this is how the WASD is set up for player 1. So if I just copy the way that's laid out and add R1s. So select something you can do is just to select the key value. So if I press that and press up, and then if I add another one, give me one sec, just trying to work out. Oh, there it is. I was going a bit snowblind. And then I press that again, and we want down, and again, and this time we want to go left, and again, and we want that to go right. And I think that is all we need to do. I'm just checking there's no, oh, there's a modifier on that. Oh, okay. So one thing we do need to add is this swizzle modifier by the looks of it. So if I just go into the modifiers here for each of our new keys, add that, and then just look for swizzle input access values, and just do that for all of them. Just check that before we go too far. Oh, there's a swizzle on the modifier for the W and actually a negate on the S. So we'll do that. Modifiers, we'll add another swizzle and then add that and add a negate. Negate will just mean that it works in the opposite direction, and just check that that's just how I've set it up. There's no other inputs I change. No, so that's fine. That looks good for that. And good for the other one. I think there's a couple of things I've forgotten here. So we got up, down, left, right on this first setup. So actually, I just want to remove those for the first character. So I should only have WSAD on here because I'm putting this onto player 2 basically. And I think about it, I need to go into left and add the modifier for negate on that as well. Let me just double check that. If I open there's a modifier, yeah, I forgot about that. So that should be identical now. Hit save and go back into the third person controller. And if I right click and do IA underscore move, but I want P2, I get this. If I open that up, now, unlike here, I can't see the X and Y values. If I just come down to this action value with the same name, right click it and go split strut, I do get them. It's just because they're basically one variable, so I can split them and get both the X and the Y. And then if I, copy this move down here, because it's still the third person character, it's just a different version of it. So if I connect triggered and I scroll down and get my variable for P2, I get P2 and connect it to target, and then connect the X and the Y, compile, go back into my game and press play. In theory, we should have this character moving with the WSD and this one moving with the arrow keys. And that is how to set that up. Obviously, jump and the camera movement I haven't rigged in to the second player yet, and you can look into that yourself. That's it for this tutorial. Remember to hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time.